Good morning. My name is Stephen MacDonald and I am the Service Manager for Economic Growth at Stirling Council. I'm here to talk this morning about some of the opportunities available across Stirling with a particular focus on the Stirling and Clackmannanshire City Region deal. The Stirling and Clackmannanshire City Region deal is an exciting package of significant investment in innovation and infrastructure that will drive inclusive economic growth throughout our city region. The UK Government and Scottish Government are investing up to £90 million in the city region over the next 10 years. Alongside this, government investment, regional partners including Stirling Council, Clackmannanshire Council and the University of Stirling, resulting in a deal worth in excess of £214 million. City region partners have an ambition that the interventions created by the City Region deal will unlock private investment in excess of £640 million and deliver over 5,000 new jobs across a wide range of sectors. The deal sets out a compelling vision that builds on the City Region's strengths to deliver a number of transformational programmes and projects in order to deliver 4 strategic outcomes: inclusive growth, creating higher value jobs, sharing prosperity, and an inclusive skills ecosystem. The investment through the Stirling and Clackmannanshire City Region deal will act as a catalyst and accelerator for an ambitious programme of recovery and growth. It will unlock investment from within our region and beyond. The key focus of today's event is opportunity and how your organisation can tap into and secure business from the projects and investment. So I want to move on to give you an update on the individual projects within the deal. The first investment area is digital. Our City Region has the opportunity to transform our digital business offer through the City Region deal. By creating a strong digital district in the heart of Stirling and regional digital hubs in Callander, Cowie and Clackmannanshire, we will deliver an inclusive offer with digital innovation and inclusion at the centre. In Stirling, we will invest up to £2 million to deliver a new digital hub in Stirling. This builds on Phase 1, which was a conversion of vacant public buildings into code-based Stirling, a digital tech incubator which has been a significant success 3 years on from its launch. Further investment in our infrastructure is required to create conditions for growth throughout the region. New high-quality business space will allow companies in the digital sector to start up and grow locally, creating new and exciting job opportunities across the region. It will also widen its use to host conferences, learning events, digital art exhibitions and performances. Future growth of our economy will increasingly depend on the success of our digital sector and the skills needed for these businesses to innovate locally. The Stirling Digital Hub will create an educational ecosystem with digital skills and inclusion at its heart. This will be supported by further investment in regional hubs. In Stirling, this will be in Callander and Cowie. Regional digital hubs will create a dynamic centre of activity nurturing and mentoring small business development, as well as being a key enabler for established hubs in Stirling to extend and develop. In addition, regional digital hubs in Stirling and Clackmannanshire will have a strong focus on delivering digital inclusion, which will support skills development for life and work within targeted communities. The development of an innovative spirit will result in an increase of startup businesses and entrepreneurship. The support provided to businesses, the networks created, and business-to-business collaboration will help to encourage businesses to stay and grow in key communities. The next area of investment is culture, heritage and tourism. The Stirling and Clackmannanshire City Region provides a truly world-class culture, heritage and tourism offering, with visitors spending over £350 million annually in the local economy. Collaborating with Historic Environment Scotland and Scottish Enterprise, Stirling Council and Clackmannanshire Council have developed a vision that sets out how we can use £50 million investment, coupled with leveraged funding, to further enhance our offer. As examples, in Stirling, we're working up projects that will see transformative investment in the Smith Art Gallery Museum, Albert Halls and Bannockburn House. Additionally, funding to support a national tartan centre will add another international class facility to Stirling's offering and drive a wider programme of education, traditional crafts, manufacturing, fashion and design. The next investment area is transport, connectivity and low carbon. Improving and investing in the region's transport infrastructure to improve physical connectivity across the region is a key and integral part of the City Region deal. Firstly, we will invest up to £7 million in new improved active travel projects. This funding will improve regional connectivity between both local authority areas, focusing on linking central and rural communities, as well as tourism-related opportunities. This funding will be matched through partner investment or other external capital funding opportunities. At the core of this is development and delivery of active travel projects which improve travel times, promote leisure and tourist industries, and provide our communities with improved connectivity to employment and education, as well as improving health and wellbeing in the region. These proposals will deliver a transformative impact on the economy, delivering positive benefits to the places and people of the region, centred upon inclusive growth. Secondly, the Walk, Cycle, Live Stirling project will create 2 high-quality walking and cycling routes from Stirling city centre, Forth Valley College, and to the University of Stirling, with targeted placemaking installations along the route and attention to accessibility. Delivery of this project will be supported by the creation of apprenticeships. The next investment area is infrastructure. The deal will see major investment in the eastern area of Forthside, providing the opportunity to unlock a substantial area of highly accessible land for a mix of housing and commercial development. We will use the opportunity represented by the Defence Estate Optimisation Programme to release land at Forthside for development, aligning the site with housing and business plans. Stirling Council will seek to explore partnership opportunities to clear and develop the site to its maximum potential in line with an updated master plan and infrastructure development. At Kildene, enabling infrastructure to unlock a 400,000 square foot development is in place, including road, footway and cycle infrastructure, drainage and landscaping, and installation of utilities. Planning has been secured for a 75,000 square foot office, with other opportunities currently being explored. In Callander, a 2.5 million investment has been secured to unlock mixed-use development, including housing, leisure and tourism opportunities. Draft proposals and a master plan are being drawn up for the site to promote the opportunity. The City Region deal is just an example of the recovery and growth. Further investment through our own capital programme and other funding, an increased focus on inward investment and dedicated business support with a big focus on supplier development will, we hope, promote further development. Ensuring that local businesses have the opportunities that come from all these developments is at the centre of our approach, and I hope today that you're able to spend some time speaking to myself and colleagues to further explore. Thank you for listening. I will now pass over to Emma Fyvie from Clackmannanshire Council to talk about their plans and opportunities.
Thanks, Steve. Hello, my name is Emma Fyvie and I am the Senior Manager for Development at Clackmannanshire Council. I'm here to talk to you today about opportunities that will be coming up across Clackmannanshire, with a particular focus on the Stirling and Clackmannanshire City Region Deal projects that will be located in this area. First of all, I thought it would be useful to talk about the strategic framework that the Council is working within. Clackmannanshire Council is currently undergoing a period of transformation and is in the process of developing its Be the Future transformation programme. The key themes of this project are sustainable, inclusive growth, empowering families and communities, and health and wellbeing. This provides a clear focus for council investment and delivery, and a strategic roadmap has been created to support delivery by providing clarity on where the council wants to be in future years. We are aligning our 20-year capital programme with other significant developments that are now taking place, including the investment in City Region Deal moving on to delivery phase, and the focus of the Scottish Government budget and programme for government on community wealth building, wellbeing economy and place-based developments. Of the 4 key work streams associated with the Council's transformation strategy, 2 will be of particular interest to this audience today. These involve the creation of 2 transformation zones in Alloa. The first, focusing on a wellbeing economy, will be in and around Alloa Town Centre and will include a master plan encompassing a number of forthcoming opportunities. Firstly, a wellbeing campus, which includes a new leisure facility to replace the recently closed Alloa Leisure Bowl. This has an indicative value currently sitting at just below £17 million. Investment in the learning estate to accommodate new housing development and changing policy, and also investment in the City Region Deal, more of which in a minute. The second transformation zone will have a particular focus on community wealth building and will be located in and around the Forth Bank area of Alloa, where in future years there will be opportunities to develop sustainable food growing facilities and to produce heat from renewable sources. This involves using our assets, including vacant and derelict land, for the benefit of the local area. The transformation zone model will then move out from Alloa to other zones across the county, aligned to the investment in the capital plan and wider budget strategy, and to the opportunity that this provides to access additional investment from sources such as the Scottish Government's forthcoming Place-Based Investment Programme, the UK Government's Levelling Up Fund, and other major investment programmes. Now moving to City Region Deal. The overall deal has 4 strategic outcomes: inclusive economic growth, the creation of higher value jobs, shared prosperity, and building an inclusive skills ecosystem. And to achieve these, a range of programmes and projects are proposed. Key projects that will take place in Clackmannanshire are as follows: the Culture, Heritage and Tourism Programme, a share of a £15 million fund over the period 2023 to 2028. At this time, the types of projects that will be delivered through this programme are still under development, but the Council and its stakeholders would like to make the most of the excellent active travel networks and wonderful scenery that we have in Clacks, as well as celebrate its industrial past. It's expected that the City Region Deal funding will lever in significant private investment. We also need to deliver this programme as a regional offer, so we'll be working with Stirling Council to see where such opportunities lie. Active travel. Funding to improve the already excellent active travel network for the health and wellbeing of residents and to attract visitors. Funding totalling £13.5 million will be shared across Stirling and Clackmannanshire areas from 2021 to 2029. Regional Energy Master Plan. This is a £200,000 consultants commission to establish where opportunities for renewable energy production will lie in the future across the region as we switch to net zero. The consultants' report, due to be completed in April 2022, will put forward some key projects for Clacks that will create opportunities for the area. Skills and Inclusion Programme. This is a revenue stream to help ensure that the larger capital projects maximise skills outcomes for local people, especially those who face particular barriers to employment. It has an overall value of just under £2 million over a 5-year period, starting in the current financial year. Scotland's International Environment Centre. By far the largest and most significant investment that will be coming to Clackmannanshire through the City Region Deal is the Scotland's International Environment Centre, the SIEC, and with it will come a wide range of opportunities. The SIEC project will transform the relationship between environmental management and business in order that the protection and enhancement of natural resources becomes a driver of clean and inclusive growth. The project is planned in 2 stages as follows. Phase 1, 2021 to 25. The 4th Environment Resilience Array, also known as 4th ERA, and also Low Carbon Business Accelerator, a programme of service delivery. Phase 1 will be located in Alloa within an existing facility and will include the development of 4th ERA and the SIEC data centre. This is a full catchment environmental monitoring system and environmental data centre covering the River Forth catchment and will be a unique facility for system-scale environmental management and regulation for things like flood risk management. This will be supported by a 5G digital hub located in Alloa, which will relay and analyse data gathered, provide visualisation, modelling and AI, and allow informed decision-making and sustainable solutions. There will be a series of upcoming procurement opportunities over the next 2 years related to this phase of the project, particularly for environmental sensor companies. Suppliers should watch this space for Meet the Buyer events coming late summer 21. Like the Council, the University is keen to build the principles of community wealth building into its procurement of SIEC goods and services. They want to develop a resilient regional supply chain by increasing operational spend within the city region and enabling social and community-owned enterprises to engage. They will also stimulate innovation in the supply chain to meet evolving needs, engaging with entrepreneurs and working alongside the regional business base. Unsurprisingly, the University of Stirling will also support the transition to net zero, encouraging sustainable business practice and supporting environmental resilience within its supply chain. Phase 2 of the SIEC will take place between 2023 and 26 and also beyond. It includes a large-scale innovation community centred in Alloa, a headquarters for the SIEC, low-carbon business accelerator, including business incubator and grow-on space, skills training facilities, and large-scale research and development facilities. More on specific opportunities associated with this phase will follow as plans shape up. The Scottish and UK Government total investment for the SIEC amounts to £22 million, but with leverage, this will be in excess of £50 million. I hope that this has provided a useful summary of our upcoming opportunities in Clackmannanshire. Forth Valley has a huge amount of ambition, and I hope that you can join us in realising that. And before I go, we have a Trello board for all Clacks opportunities available online, and we also have useful information on how to do business with Clackmannanshire on our council web pages. Thank you for listening.
Good morning and welcome to our first Q&A session today. Thank you very much for the presentations there. It's very interesting hearing about the Stirling and Clackmannanshire City Region City Deal. I'm delighted to be joined today. I'm Gillian Cameron, the Programme Manager at Supplier Development Programme, and we are the hosts for the event today. And we've been working alongside the three councils, looking at how we can help promote and encourage suppliers and small businesses to get involved in the city deals. So today I'm joined by a range of experts, and I'd like them each to introduce themselves. So I'm going to go to Emma first. Please, can you introduce yourself, Emma?
Hi there, thanks Gillian. I'm Emma Fivey and I'm Senior Manager for Development at Clackmannanshire Council.
Okay, Stephen.
Good morning, I'm Steve MacDonald, Service Manager, Economic Growth, Culture, Tourism and Events at Stirling Council.
And Simon.
Morning everyone, I'm Simon Payne, I'm a Category Manager within the procurement function at Stirling Council.
And last but not least, Derek.
Hi there, I'm Derek Barr. I'm the Procurement Manager for Clackmannanshire Council, although the little caption says it's not, but I am.
Okay, I'm sure we can get that sorted. So welcome to you all today. We're looking forward to seeing what questions we're going to get coming in the question and answer session. There was a lot of information in the presentations, and it's great to see so much opportunity that's coming up to aid small businesses with the local recovery. One of the first questions we've got is, how will projects put out to tender be advertised? Derek, do you want to maybe pick that one up?
Yes, the projects that we've got will all be advertised in Public Contract Scotland. Particularly the sort of smaller value ones will be using quick quotes, so it's good to keep in contact with us so that we know that you're there. Clackmannanshire Council look at quick quotes between £10,000 and £50,000, so there are some small projects in there that might fit that, and then everything above that's regulated procurement, so we go out to open tender and on Public Contract Scotland. So as I said, if you've registered, so I appreciate most people have registered now, they will get the opportunity, if they've set up the profile, they'll get these links sent to them directly, and if not, as I said, if it's for quick quotes, please keep in contact with us and we will add you to our list when we put a quick quote out.
That's great, thank you, Derek.
So probably, can I just come in as from the Stirling side? Sorry, yeah, just for clarity, slightly different thresholds across the two organisations, so worth probably me coming in here. Stirling Council publish everything on Public Contract Scotland that's of a value greater than £25,000. Without wanting to get into the procurement jargon too much, Derek was referring to quick quotes. So quick quotes are obviously sort of closed tendering opportunities where a number of suppliers are invited, so they don't necessarily get opened up to all and any who might be interested. It's very important that suppliers, as Derek says, are signed up on PCS and are in contact with the councils and use the opportunity today to come and introduce yourselves and have a chat with us. Because those opportunities, by their nature, they go out to groups of suppliers. They don't necessarily go out to the open market. So with regards to the lower value stuff, I appreciate that for some suppliers, 25,000 is a lot of money. Just to clarify, the Stirling approach is quick quotes for anything under 25,000. So again, just really important that you're coming in and introducing yourselves and talking to us. Probably one further thing to say is that some of the opportunities in relation to the city deal will get quite a lot of publicity before they go out. The sorts of information that Stephen and Emma have provided this morning isn't typically available for all of the council's spend. So there's an extra opportunity and extra information for people to engage with us at an early opportunity in relation to these specific requirements.
And that's another question that's come in, Simon, is there a City Deal website? Is there somewhere that somebody can find out about all the kind of high-level projects?
I can maybe answer that one, Gillian, if that's okay. I mean, there is a City Deal website, but I think probably not just keeping it to City Deal. I think that there's wider opportunities, which hopefully came across in the presentation. So I think I would probably urge everyone to kind of follow Invest in Stirling. So we've got our Invest in Stirling website, but we've also got our Twitter feed and our LinkedIn feed as well. So all upcoming opportunities and timelines around projects and opportunities will be publicised and advertised through those forums.
That's great, thanks, Stephen.
Gillian,
and obviously,
so I'll just come in. Yeah. I'll just come in there as well, just from a Clackmannanshire point of view. I think it's safe to say our website isn't as up to date as it could be, but with all this new transformation programme coming along, as well as City Deal projects being as part of that, we will be updating our website and publicising that through the normal channels.
Okay. I was just going to add in that obviously the Supplier Development Programme is supporting all 3 councils, and certainly we will be helping promote opportunities as they come up. So keep an eye on our website as well. I agree with you, Derek and Simon, about the importance for suppliers to be registered on Public Contract Scotland. It is the place to find out about contract opportunities. Supplier Development Programme are actually running a webinar tomorrow. It's free. If anyone wants to find out how to use Public Contract Scotland and want to find out a bit more about how they can get more out of it, you can register through our website for that. So that's a great opportunity to get your business up and running, to understand how to work with the public sector. Okay, so I'm just having a look at some of the other questions that are coming in here. We've got some questions in about quick quotes. How do we introduce ourselves? Derek, do you want to pick that one up maybe?
Yeah, just directly contact myself or anybody. We've got if you go on to our Trello boards that we've got as part of the advertising stuff on the session today, we've got a whole load of links there with various email addresses. These are generic email addresses. So, for example, there will be procurement@clacks.gov.uk. So you'll find that there's a way of getting the everybody's email addresses behind the scenes there. Right, so and for example, if you go into IT, the IT address is probably got about 4 or 5 names behind that, so you're pretty much guaranteed to get someone within the IT department, for example, in there. So we've set that up a number of years ago, and it's quite handy for us. So if anybody just uses these links, we gather these over the piece. And anybody can contact us, as I said, and we then tend to contact people directly with that. It's good for me. I'm on every single email address, so I can capture everybody's correspondence, and consequently, if I see that it's maybe not getting followed up, at least that when the quotes go out or when the tenders go out, we know, or I certainly know, to add directly the supplier's contact details at that point in time. So hopefully that captures everyone.
Okay, thank you for that. Next question we have
Can
is,
can I
council
come in on that one, Gillian? Sorry, just from the Stirling perspective. So similarly, there are sort of generic emails to contact Stirling Council Procurement. We'd ask you to contact procurement in the first instance, and what happens then is that the details are forwarded on to the relevant services. So if you're an IT company and you're interested in certain requirements, then we can follow up directly with the right person, so that you're not having to search around on the website to try and find who specifically you should contact. So the generic procurement email address is the right point of contact. Similarly for both organisations, you know, the councils do market research when we're looking at specific requirements as well. So it's not a case, I'd hate for people to think that if you don't contact us, we're never going to find you, we're never going to do business with you. But obviously, if you have the name recognition, and if we're familiar with you and we've sort of had introductions, then it makes it easier for us to sort of keep people in mind for certain requirements. So yeah, similarly to what Derek was saying, if you reach out to us, introduce yourselves today, and drop us an email. The emails do get replied to, not always as quickly as we'd like, but they do always get replied to.
That's great. Thank you for that, Simon. And of course, both Stirling and Clackmannanshire have stands at today's virtual event, so you can go along and ask some questions, introduce yourself at the stands. So make sure you take that opportunity to do that today. So one of the questions we've got coming up here is, will the councils be looking for innovation in these up and coming growth deals? How would a supplier be able to present a product that has added technology before it's procured? Any volunteers for that one?
I can go first if you want, Derek. Yeah. So there's plenty of opportunities to show innovation. You know, part of the general approach is through the sort of routes that we've just discussed in terms of contacting us and telling us what you can do. So, having been at the national event a couple of weeks ago, there was a number of suppliers who came to me and basically told me about products that I didn't know existed, which have then been picked up in terms of sort of potential requirements for the council. So there's that avenue in terms of the sort of general introductions. In terms of more innovative projects, some of the requirements that we go out to are very focused on innovation. Some of them are quite light spec in terms of we have an end result that we want to achieve, and it's the marketplace has scope to tell us how they want to get there. And the other thing is just around the sort of the nature of the specific requirements. Some of them will have more extensive pre-market engagement than others. So if it's something that we're buying that we haven't bought before, or that we don't know the marketplace as well, there may be sort of specific supplier events for those projects, which will again allow people to come in and talk to us. You know, certainly some of the bigger projects might get a PIN notice, so prior information notice, which would invite sort of suppliers to contact us and potentially attend a workshop to discuss the requirement and how it's going to be procured ultimately. So the key is just engagement and communication and getting in as early as you can.
Okay, Derek, do you want to add anything to that?
I could add anything to that. That was perfect. Thank you.
Great. Okay, so another question we've got here is, if a potential supplier spots an opportunity where two buying organisations are buying the same thing and we can make the opportunities more attractive by aggregating these, how do we do this?
That's a good question.
Maybe a more tricky one, isn't it? Yeah. I suppose there is a lot of frameworks out there that overlap or look the same. So the question is, how as a council do you choose which one you want to use?
So I suppose, you know, the councils are invested in the sort of the national frameworks, so Scotland Excel and even the Crown Commercial frameworks. These are things that the council organisations that the council works with in the development of the frameworks. So I'd like to think that the sort of scenario you've just described is fairly rare. You know, we do collaborative contracts with Clackmannanshire and Falkirk in particular. So there's a number of sort of fairly large collaborative contracts where we've, as councils, have recognised joint requirements and have worked together on them. I guess if there is a specific instance where a supplier says, "Oh, look, we think that Clacks and Stirling are going out for the same thing," there would be no harm in contacting us and letting us know. But I would like to think it's fairly rare that that's happening, particularly given the joined up nature of the work on City Deal. You know, events like this with the sort of people on the call, we've all got pretty good oversight of what the other parties are doing, and we're actively seeking collaborative opportunities in this programme. So I'd like to think it wouldn't happen, but if it does, by all means, drop us an email and tell us. Hopefully that's answered that.
Yeah. Thank you. And I suppose that leads on to the next question, which is about framework contracts. They're saying that they're aware that a lot of the larger infrastructure projects might rely on framework contracts. Do either of the councils have a list of what frameworks they might use, they might call off from? Is there some visibility of that? I know the Glasgow City Region City Deal have actually just launched their contract pipeline, which gives potential bidders an idea of what frameworks they might use, which is certainly a very useful tool. Is this something that the councils are considering?
We've always had a list of the frameworks that we use, and we signpost these actually on our council website. In business and trade. So if you go in there, you will see where we highlight the contract opportunities, particularly around about our contract register tab. If you go in there, and you can see that there, so it gives you the various hyperlinks to the various contracts that are actually out there. We're not averse to using various things, whether it's that or SPA, which I know are on here today as well, ESPO agreements, Crown Commercial, but we do signpost everyone towards that, and we'll take advantage of that where we can. We would prefer to do things more at a local level to try and get a little bit more. If you were listening to the sessions from the leaders earlier on, we are trying our best to obviously bring things in through our community wealth building, and so some of the national contracts don't necessarily lend itself to that, which is why the city deal contracts that we're doing are and will provide that for us. So we're hoping to try and exploit that as much as we can, rather than going out to external contracts, to pre-existing external contracts, if we possibly can. So it's a great opportunity. We have some capacity issues, I'll be honest about that, which is why we've tended to lead towards somebody who's already done a contract for us. We've said, isn't that great? We'll exploit that. But we're now in a position where we believe that we need to move towards a little bit more localised, particularly within the Forth Valley area.
Simon, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, probably just worth coming in and echoing what Derek's said. There are increasingly lots of frameworks out there, and local authorities will try and take utilise them as much as possible. If there was one single piece of advice I could give to all the businesses today, it would be to make sure that you're familiar with what national frameworks cover your products and services, because if you are on a national framework, then it's easier for any local authority, not just the ones today, to contract with you through that framework. But completely agree with what Derek said. The nature of this is a lot of it is designed to be targeted more at local businesses and local opportunities where we can. So the default option is not going to be to use a national framework. The default option is going to be to see whether we can do this a different way. To answer the specific question about major infrastructure contracts, we do utilise the national frameworks occasionally, but equally Stirling Council's pretty consistently gone out to open market for major infrastructure projects in recent years. Given again the focus on this, I think it would be likely, without being making a commitment on it, I think it would be likely that the infrastructure elements of this from the Stirling side would be open market anyway.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Simon. And I suppose that there's a real opportunity here for small businesses to get involved in the supply chain. Do you encourage the tier 1 and tier 2 type contractors to open up their supply chain to local businesses?
Yes, Derek was nodding. I was nodding. So I'll go first, Derek. Yeah, absolutely, we do. We push this as much as it's possible within the regs. We very much want our main suppliers to be using local subcontractors appropriately and wherever possible. So this is something that we do absolutely aspire to in both individual tender exercises and as a general principle of our procurement approach.
That's great, thank you. I have a question that's come in here about skills. What support is available for learning and for skills? And maybe this is more a question for Emma and Stephen as part of these projects.
Yeah, so for the City Region deal, we've got a skills and inclusion programme which forms part of the deal. So that's just under £2 million, and that will be looking at the capital projects that the City Region deal will deliver and how we can build skills, upskilling our local people into those capital projects, either through construction and then actually when they're actually built. So that's been built in as part of the City Region deal, and we are working to get a series of skills pathway plans for each of the projects in place over the next this coming year, and we're liaising closely with the college and university in that.
I think maybe just to add to that, I think sorry, Gillian. We're obviously part of that skills package to the City Region deal as well. But there's a host of other skills and employability and training resources out there. So I think the message, kind of much like others have said, it's get in touch with us and we can try and work with you to see what support is out there around skills. But we've talked about innovation, collaboration, so probably a wider kind of economic development message as well. As we work very closely with our procurement colleagues, but there's support, specific business support packages and stuff that we can provide around that. So again, it's a kind of get in touch and we can support you through that. But there's lots of support out there.
That's great. Thank you for that, Stephen. A question I've got here is, has there been a post-COVID shift in strategy for investing in Stirling Clackmannanshire to help regenerate the most adversely affected sectors of our local economy?
I'll maybe try and answer that one. That's a big question and quite a tricky question. I don't want it to sound like what we were doing before, it was maybe wrong. But I think it has given us the opportunity to maybe kind of reset a little bit and refocus. So I would say that certainly through the City Region deal, a big focus has been on community benefits. So for us, it's about a big push to making sure that local suppliers get access to opportunities, but also local people get access to opportunities as well for employment. So I suppose I think we're probably on that journey anyway, but this has maybe accelerated it a little bit more. Would probably be my take on that.
Yeah, I would just add to that from a Clackmannanshire point of view. We were on a journey of a kind of shift to a well-being economy, so trying to be more inclusive about our economic development, and I think just COVID has refocused that for us and shown us actually that is the right approach. And as part of delivering this wellbeing economy, I think we see community wealth building as being a real key tool for delivery of that. So we are trying to, we've got an action plan that has been prepared on community wealth building for the council, and there's a number of different priorities that lists. So we're working on delivering those priorities and the rest of the action plan over time and building that into everything that we do. It's not just about procurement, although that's a big part of it. It's about, lots of different aspects of the economy and general well-being.
Okay, thank you. So we just touched on community benefits there. Do either of the councils, do they have a list of the community benefits they're looking for, or how does one identify those?
I'll let Derek go first on this one.
All right, so yeah, we've been working very closely with the third sector interface, the Clackmannanshire third sector interface, and developing that. And what we've developed, what we believe is called a community benefit factory. And part of that is that we've actually asked the community about what they would like to have or to see as a community benefit, rather than us imposing a community benefit onto them. So we've got a number of links now to a wish list that's been created through that, and that's updated on a monthly basis. And our suppliers, these links are in all our tender documents, and they're also on the Public Contract Scotland notices. And you go in there, click on that, and basically you see the wish list from the community. And we asked that you maybe pick one or two, depending on the size of the opportunity, and take it from there. So we've sort of decided to turn it on its head a little bit, rather than getting suppliers to provide community benefits for us. They're very much contractually part of the contract, so it will actually enforce or be enforced as part of that contract, and we will be monitoring and managing these things as well.
That's great, Derek. Thank you for that, and I think that's really useful for suppliers.
Sorry, just going to say slightly different approach from Stirling, but along a similar vein. So our community benefits are linked to the council's locality action plans, which sort of highlight key areas of focus within various various areas of Stirling. We also have sort of corporate areas around employability and climate change, where we take a similar approach in terms of specifying in relation to each specific contract what community benefits we would like or we think would be appropriate. So it's a slightly different approach from the two councils, but the end result I think is the same in terms of, as Derek says, getting contractually secured community benefits. And probably worth mentioning, if you're participating in a collaborative contract with Stirling Clacks and Falkirk, certainly with Stirling and Clacks, you'll be asked for community benefits from both councils. So.
And that's for contracts over a certain limit.
Yeah, so we speaking for Stirling again, we have looked at lowering the limits. So without getting into the sort of granular around the thresholds, the council typically asks for community benefits with pretty much everything that we do above 25,000. It's not mandatory, but it is usually part of the scored criteria. So not the formal mandatory regulatory community benefits clauses. It's just something that we're looking for in terms of our assessments.
Okay. Is that the same at Clacks, Derek?
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
The community benefits, is there a value of contract that you apply that to?
It's like all things with the community benefit, it's got to be proportionate and obviously towards the contract itself. We do appreciate the fact that as a smaller local authority, sometimes community benefits don't necessarily feature on some of our contracts because the overall value of the contract is not necessarily that high, and it's quite a burden to be placed on some of the suppliers. But anything that's regulated, we will always ask now for community wealth building or community community benefit as such. Sometimes quick quotes don't lend itself for it, but if we can and there is a benefit there, we will apply that.
That's great. Well, I'd just like to say thank you very much to all our panel today for taking part in this question and answer session. If you've got more questions, obviously you can go along to the stands today and ask more questions there. The information will be made available, and the videos from today's session will also be available online. You'll still be able to access the portal for the next 24 hours as well to be able to go back and review these. So I just want to say a very big thank you to Emma, Stephen, Simon and Derek for taking part today. And I hope we've had some interesting questions that have given you some information. The Supplier Development Programme is here to also help you. And we have a whole wealth of free training to find out about how to do tendering and find out about framework contracts, about community benefits. So there is support available for you to get into public sector tendering if you're not already involved, or if you want to look at how you can improve your bids. So I hope today's session has been really useful for you all. And I'd like to thank again our panel for taking part.